Mustard Knuckle.
Hello everybody, Mustard Knuckle back again, heading out in the Chi 2 Japanese medium tank. Pretty cool tank. Not much story to it, but it's pretty cool. We'll do the gameplay here and any tips that happen along the way, plus we'll cover the history of this thing briefly. Well, it's a pretty brief history anyway, but we'll cover the history of where this thing came from, what the plan was, and what actually ended up happening with it. In-game, it's cool because it's a big tank, but it's still got some speed, it's got a good gun, and pretty good combination, just not very good armor, really. And it's got a, you see that little, that hatch that sticks up? That thing sticks up so high, and it's easy to clip that and take out the commander and whatever else might get in there. So that's something to think about when you're using this thing, or anything that's got a hatch. Come on, let's see. Oh, look at that, sweet. Anything that's got a hatch like that, you want to keep it down, stay low. Don't think about just the top of that turret. That little hatch, those guys will get it. And some tanks it's more susceptible than others, but it is almost always something to aim for if you see it sticking up. So go for the hatch because you can get something for it. Guys, if you enjoy these videos where we go over the history and the gameplay and all that stuff, subscribe, turn on notifications, and that way you won't miss any. You're doing 3 to 4 a week. We got a couple new series. One is how to kill or how to destroy and fill in the blank. So I'm going to do, it's in 3 minutes. So there's 3-minute videos about how to, as I take a shot at that guy, they're about how to kill, like the first one's about a jumbo. So in 3 minutes I'm going to go around that tank and I'm going to tell you how to kill it with a tank that's 1 battle rating lower. So if you can kill it with a tank that's 1 battle rating lower, then you know you can get it if you're on equal ground on a fair fight. So check those out too, and let's get back into this one. Let's see, there's not much going on back here, so I need to run up. I'm going to start trying to move up. I'm going to get in this plane. So I got to make sure I'm covered. You guys know this, we've talked about this before. Make sure you're covered as well as possible before you get in a plane. And I left myself out a little bit. Hopefully nobody will see me over there. Let's see. I don't know if we'll catch him or not. The Chi 2 was a pretty cool old tank. Like I said, the armor wasn't very good. It was developed by the Japanese, obviously. The goal was they had the Chi-Ha, but they needed something. What they thought was going to happen was that the Americans were going to try to invade. So they knew the Americans had a Sherman, so they decided, well, we need to get something going now. See, he's coming down on top here. Go for that rear deck. Let's see if we can get anything. Crit. Oh, jeez, I didn't think I was going to make that. I don't know if I got the barrel or what, but something was critical. The Chi 2, yeah, so it came about because they thought that the Americans were going to invade. So they said, well, we need to get something going that's bigger than what we got. So they wanted a high velocity gun, 75 millimeters, what they ended up with. That's probably the best part about this thing, is that high velocity gun. The turret sticks up too high, so it's hard to use, and the armor's not that great on the hull, so that makes it hard to use also. But it does have the speed going for it. This thing is big. It's almost 22 feet long. It's about 9.5 to 10 feet wide and 9.5 to 10 feet tall as well. It's big. And there's an M6A1 right there, I think it is. M6A1. This thing is almost as big as that. It's 6 feet shorter, but it's essentially the same height and the same width as an M6A1, but it's faster. It weighs only about 66,000 pounds, 60 to 66, and the M6A1 was, I think, close to 100. I mean, it was pretty, even maybe just a little bit more than 100,000 pounds. Both of them, oh, well, this will be easy. And there we go. Good. I hate thinking I'm going to be able to get something and I come down and it doesn't happen, but I thought I was going to end up crashing. So they started making this thing. This guy's flying right into me. And they got the gun. They wanted the armor to be 75 millimeters, which in game is not very good, but in real life, I guess back then they thought, I think that's equivalent to 3 inches, so they thought that was sufficient, so they'll just go with that. Like I said, in the game it doesn't work very well. And it's got these angled parts at the front. Jeez. Sort of like the M6A1, those front corners right there where it's angled. So if you try to angle your armor, then you end up facing that plate straight at whoever's shooting at you, which makes it super easy to pin. See that angled part right there on those corners? They made it, you know, so you can't sit on a corner and angle your armor because you're going to be facing that right at them. You can see it again there from the front, those angled sides. So that makes it a challenge to get your armor angled in a way that you can actually have any kind of protection. Now, I see that there's a guy up over this hill, and it looks like he just took out one of our guys, and there's 2 guys over there on C, and I thought I was going to come over here and go for them, but I think, let's see, I'm going to take a look and see if I can see what, okay, here we go. These guys might not see me. Just take him. Sweet. Oh, wow. That was a better shot than I really thought it was going to be. Alright, so, well, this game's under control. Let's see. On this Chi-2. So, and then as it turns out, they only made 2 of them. They had supply shortages in Japan. They didn't have all the materials they needed because they were losing the war. And in the war, your goal is to destroy the supply chain. You don't want them to be able to get steel or bearings or any of that kind of stuff. I'm going for this guy first. So the guy over there to the left, you know, that's an easy kill. So I'm going to try and keep quiet over here. I don't think he sees me. He's still pointing the other way, and I don't want to shoot guns at him to get his attention. I just want to take him out. There we go, boom. Because this gun on this thing only has about 20 rounds, and it's useless, basically. It's not going to pen anything, and it just fires a few rounds, and that's that. And doesn't really do anything. So I did not want to get that guy's attention, so that's something to think about when you're in game. If you are facing something that, oh, there's a guy right down here. I'm afraid he's going to come around the corner, so I don't want to turn around and leave myself broadside. But in game, if you're working on somebody, don't, like in that case, think about what your machine gun can do. If your machine gun's good enough and has enough rounds, then go for it. But in this case, this machine gun can't do it. So there's, all I would have done if I shot at him was like say, hey, look at me, and he would have killed me because I wasn't reloaded. So I wanted to, oh, come on, he left. There's somebody else over there, but I think he already saw me. Alright. Looks like I'm clear up here. I think we're okay. I didn't see that guy at all. What was I looking at? Jeez. Well, alright, well here's the late version. Not much of a difference. There's a difference in the engine covers and a difference in the exhaust. But considering there were only 2 of them made, I don't know how we actually have a late version in the game unless the very first prototype that was made looked like the one I was driving earlier, and then this is the second prototype. I think there's something different on the turret too as far as how they shaped it or whatever, but this thing was pretty advanced, and it was sort of like the M6A1 for the Americans, not only in size and things like that, but this allowed them to develop their ideas. We're not even going to get back in the fight, this game's over. It allowed them to develop their ideas and kind of work through things on what a medium to heavy tank would be. Nice, 7 kills, 2 assists in a plane. I'll take it. And they allowed them to use that going forward in their future tanks down the line. Even though this one didn't pan out, it still had importance as far as the continuing development of the Japanese armored vehicles. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can see I'm still working on that thing big time. The late has nothing. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, of course, subscribe, turn on notifications. Yeah, good luck, have fun. We'll see you in the next one.